All right. Now I would like to turn this over to Amit, who will walk us through some of our new profiles that we've been developing lately.
Thank you, Laura. So the new profiles that PCC has been working on for this year can be found and will be published by the end of the week for trial implementation, and can be found at this link highlighted on this page. The first one that I'd like to talk through is the point of care medical device tracking, or PMDT. I'll dive into each one a little bit as to why these profiles are important and how they provide value, and then discuss a little bit of the overview of how they work. For PMDT, some of the challenges and problems that we face today are that implantable devices, medical devices, have started to see counterfeiting and being stolen as global issues. And hence, we want to make sure that we're able to track these so that we know if they're legitimate devices, or if they get removed or stolen, we can track them. The other piece also is that there is a need to track devices within patients due to safety recalls and adverse events. So that if there is a recall, we know exactly what types of devices manufactured by who are in which patient. And all of these challenges are something that PMDT tries to address. The value proposition for PMDT is that it closes the loop on increasing that patient safety and making sure that devices are easily tracked. One of the other challenges also that it addresses while doing so is moving that data from those medical devices into the patient's chart. And some of that device data could be used for continuum of care, for example, summaries, referrals, also sent to registries. An example is the joint registry, or to payers for private insurance companies so that they can get reimbursed. Another potential outcome is that monitoring these devices and getting the data from them can be used to track how the patient is doing. For example, vital signs, pulse oximeters, blood glucose monitors, etc. Any device or procedure that uses a UDI can take benefit of this profile. And finally, the additional benefit that the profile provides is it reduces the human error, or eliminates the human error for if there is manual entry of device data into the patient's chart, since we're automatically bringing that in. So the PMDT profile introduces 3 actors and several transactions in order to accomplish this. The idea here is that the medical device server holds the information that is related to that device, and the medical device reporter, for example, an OR system, when the procedure is performed, would then associate that device with that patient and register it with the medical device server. This allows for long-term tracking, and then the medical device requester could request or search for any of these medical devices and get the information from the medical device server as necessary. More information is available if you want to read the details of any of this or any of the profiles on the actual supplements that will be published this week. Or if you have further questions, we have some of our profile authors on the call that can help answer at the end of the call. Here are some of the PMDT technical highlights. One of the key points to call out is that the content profiles use the HL7 FHIR STU3 structured definition resources to record the information about the medical device. And this is for life-sustaining devices or implantable devices, and also tissues that are tracked using the UDI. For those of you unaware, FHIR uses RESTful services to create, update, and query records. This is an HL7 standard that is in the works. PMDT also provides new capabilities for point-of-care systems to enhance patient safety and effectiveness, and allows by managing identity information for devices and patients at the point of care. Tracking these devices in the context of the procedure, and hence associating them with the patient's chart to track them for the life of that device or the patient. And finally, this is done using the US FDA UDI standard for tracking devices. The next profile I'd like to talk about is the Remote Patient Monitoring, or RPM profile. This profile we released last year already, and this profile has undergone a significant update in this cycle. RPM allows healthcare professionals to monitor patients from their homes. We're transitioning now from implantable devices or tissues to devices that can be used by patients in their own home. There are several of these devices now in the market, everything from smart thermometers to glucometers, weighing scales. These devices can be connected to one of these three types of local gateways. So you could connect those devices to a mobile phone or a personal computer, or if a patient doesn't have either of those, they could be connected to a dedicated set-top box. And the idea is that the information is collected from those devices and sent through using one of those three types of connections, either to a back-end consolidator or directly to a repository. This is done using FHIR. That's the update that we've added, or the PCD 01 transaction from the patient care devices domain. All of this information then is readily available for the healthcare professional to read and react to and call the patient back if there is something that the patient needs to do in order to improve their health. That is the update for RPM for this year. The next profile is the Dynamic Care Team Management. Dynamic Care Team Management, or DCTM, provides a mechanism to facilitate system interactions to support care team membership. This is done by allowing systems to discover a patient's care team, or to create a new care team for the patient, or update an existing care team. And since a patient may have more than one care team, you could also ask for a list of all of the patient's care teams. Some of the details on this profile. DCTM provides the structures and transactions for care team management and sharing information about care teams that meet the need of many, such as providers, patients, and payers. It provides guidance on how to share information about multiple care teams to use for coordinated care. And care teams may be updated dynamically as the patient interacts with the healthcare system and different providers. Again, the idea, this profile allows for a realistic complex scenario where a patient has multiple long-term diseases that are being cared for, and multiple care teams at any given time can be associated to the patient. DCTM uses HL7 FHIR care team and subscription resources as this underlying standard, and also the HL7 Coordination of Care Services functional model. DCTM has two actors. Here's a quick visual of all the different types of providers that could be part of the patient's care team on the right. On the left, you see the two actors and all the transactions that are part of the DCTM profile. The care team service is what hosts and manages the care team, and the care team contributor is the one that either can search for or retrieve a particular care team, get a list, or update a particular care team as necessary. And the care team service continues to manage that across over time. That wraps up the DCTM profile.